Welcome to the Big Success Show. Today, get rid of clutter to gain an hour a day. Brought to you by FinancialFreedomTool.com. Plenty of money for life.
Big Success with the Professor and Mary-Lynn.
We recently fell back an hour. Oh, Mary-Lynn, you just look so much more rested.
Thank you. I love being able to gain an hour of sleep when daylight saving time ends. I just don't like the fact that it gets darker earlier.
Well, not many of us do, but that makes us more tired, and now we're back to sleep again, right?
Right now, exactly.
But seriously, it kind of made us wonder, what if we could gain an hour every day? I mean, is that even possible? To gain an hour every day?
I don't know how many times have you said, I just need more hours than a day to get more done. So yeah, if I could gain an hour every day, I'd take it.
Well, we're about to tell you how to do that. Hi, I'm George Kruger, a.k.a. The Professor.
And I'm Mary-Lynn. Today we're opening the big vault of timeless treasures.
Hello, Mary-Lynn. Hello.
And George is deep in the vault, as you can see. But we wanted to pull out a stat from 2004. And this was printed in an edition of Newsweek. And it stated that the average American loses 55 minutes every day searching for things that they can't find.
Well, you know me, Mary-Lynn. When I see one statistic, I want to see if there's another one, right?
Right.
So I mean, I looked pretty hard, and I couldn't find anything that refuted this or that kind of stated a more modern version. Mm-hmm. But I mean, just intuitively, would you say that we're less cluttered today than we were, let's say, 10 or 15, let's see, what was it, be 16 years ago? I mean, are we less cluttered? I would guess, and maybe I'm just thinking to myself here, I would guess that we're more cluttered.
And probably more reliant upon gadgets that we can lose.
Well, yes, exactly. And I would say that our clutter now has moved past the physical clutter, and we're not going to get into all this today, but I mean, just a point to keep in mind is we not only have physical clutter, we also have digital clutter.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. I mean, just when you look at all of the files and look at your emails,
It's
and, oh my goodness.
Yes.
And the thing about clutter is that not only can it cost you time, but it can cost you in other ways as well.
Yeah, for example, if bills don't get paid on time, you're going to incur additional late fees.
Yeah, appointments are missed. And again, you can get fined for that if you don't cancel an appointment in time.
That's true.
Relationships can be damaged. If you say you're going to call somebody at a specific time and you don't, or you say you're going to be someplace and you're late, that's not good.
Or where's their phone number? If it's not in your phone, it's hard to find, right?
Yeah.
So, and then in some places, clutter is so pervasive that people have actually been injured by tripping over it.
By tripping over the clutter. Yes.
It happens.
So if you'd like to add an hour to every day of your life, hang on. There is hope. We'll share some tips on how to get rid of clutter right after this word from our sponsor, Financial Freedom Tool. Plenty of money for life.
Do you stress over money? Who doesn't? Let the Financial Freedom Tool ease your mind by pinpointing opportunities to improve your financial picture. Take control so you feel empowered to move ahead with confidence. Learn more at FinancialFreedomTool.com.
Today we're talking about how to get rid of clutter to gain an hour a day. So we went into the big vault of timeless treasures. And in our vault today we found a stat that said, on average, we lose 55 minutes every day searching for things. Mm-hmm. That means we need to declutter. Get rid of clutter. We're going to share 4 ways to do that. Number 1, use it or lose it.
If in doubt, throw it out. Now, Mary-Lynn, don't look at me when I say this.
Well, I've got my own clutter problems over here. So, and invariably, though, I'll have something forever, right? And not need it. And then I'll throw it out.
Yes.
And then suddenly, there appears a need for it.
Which is why we're all so afraid to throw anything out, right? But
right.
Many people approach their decluttering project from the opposite mindset. So like we need to make a 180-degree shift. So instead of keeping it unless you absolutely know you're going to need it, get rid of it unless you absolutely know you're going to need it. You know, you're never going to eliminate clutter until you get past that process of, I might need it.
And Marie Kondo, who is, just super popular, she's an expert on decluttering. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that she says to do is ask yourself if the item sparks joy.
Ah, yes, joy.
Does it bring joy to your life? Mm-hmm. And if not, then throw it away. She even says, because we do have a sentimental attachment to some of our things.
Yeah.
She even suggests that you sincerely thank that item for serving its purpose and then say bye-bye now.
Well, Mary-Lynn, I wonder if I'd have anything left besides you and our little cat Heidi. What really sparks joy in your life? I mean,
That's
when you
true.
think about it,
I'm
it's a
glad
pretty
we're
high
not on
bar.
the throw-out list. That's all I know.
Well, there you go. So another tactic that you can use is to apply the 6-month rule. And I like this because it's kind of definitive. So in my world of numbers, I like numbers. And so 6 months is the target. Have you used it in the last 6 months? Do you know that you're going to use it in the next 6 months? Do you know? Not do you think, do you know I can see a time when I'm going to need this? And then if the answer is no, I'm not going to need it, then lose it. Use it or lose it. That's the ones you lose.
All right, tip number 2 on how to get rid of clutter. Think about it this way. A place for everything, everything in its place.
Now, if you're doing this sequentially, so in other words, step 1, now this is step 2, you should have a lot less to put away now, all right? But there's still going to be things that you have to put away. Find a place for everything you keep, and then keep it there. It's that old put it back rule we probably heard about when we were kids. When you use something, put it back immediately after you're done with it. And make that a habit.
Right.
That's the key, is making it a habit.
Right. And that's what really saves you time in the long run, so you're not looking for things.
Best example of this ever, our keys.
Yes.
We forget where I put our keys.
Right.
If you just put it in the same spot time after time after time, your keys will always be there.
But I would say another great example is with the way that you've been teaching your class at the university this semester. You've actually put together, you've got a kit.
Yes.
So a kit where you put the various things that you need for class, and you need a few more things this year because of COVID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you mean like a mask, a shield,
Microphone.
Yeah, it has to have a microphone.
Your class that you're teaching is called hybrid. So
Yes.
you have some students that are in the classroom and a large portion of students who are just online.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely
you
right.
have to have all of your gadgets that you need to be able to teach both.
Yes. I grab my kit. When I go to class, I use my kit. I grab it, come back home, put the kit in its place.
Yeah.
So the next time I have class, I'm ready to grab it. I know right where it is.
Yeah.
You just got to make that a habit.
All right. It's a time saver.
Absolutely.
You can gain an hour a day.
Simple.
Or
Simple.
drive yourself crazy trying to find all these little things everywhere.
Yes,
All right.
or end up forgetting something, right? You forget that I need my microphone, or something like that. If everything isn't together.
In that case, that not only costs you time, but that costs your students time.
Yeah.
If they're sitting there waiting around for you to try and find a microphone
Yes.
somewhere because you forgot yours, that would be
Exactly.
terrible.
Yes.
All right, so now our third tip on how to get rid of clutter is call in a pro.
Yeah, you may not be the do-it-yourself type. That's fine. I'm not really the do-it-yourself type. I'd much rather pay somebody else to do it. Or maybe you just want and respect the fact that there are people who are really good at this,
Yeah.
and maybe you realize this just isn't your cup of tea.
Oh, in your show notes, you'll find a link to the National Association of Professional Organizers. And when you go to that website, you can search for organizers in your area. And you'll also find some great tips on hiring a specialist at that website as well. Our final tip on how to get rid of clutter, gain an hour a day, is daily delights.
Yes, you've decluttered. The key now is to make sure that you don't reclutter.
Yes. Daily delights means daily maintenance, and that's the best way to ensure against recluttering.
Yeah, so create a system for handling the incoming, right? Incoming.
Yeah.
Every day we get things like mail, newspapers, periodicals,
Not
et cetera.
newspapers anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Not so much anymore, but we definitely, have mail. There's just things that are hitting us. We could apply this once again to the digital world, right?
Yeah.
But for example, you may open your mail over a shredder so that you can just sort the mail and those things that need
all
to be
that junk mail, just get rid of it right away.
And anything that you need to save it by action date and file it appropriately. So you get things done when they're supposed to be done. When today's magazine or whatever is here, get rid of last month's. Just make it a habit of only having a certain amount of, quote, stock.
Yeah, and Marie Kondo has another great idea when it comes to this too, as far as how to stay decluttered. She says that you need to visualize the life that you want. and what you're going to need to get there. And then don't allow anything to be in your space that you don't need on your journey.
Yeah, just focus on keeping your path clear of clutter for your big success.
Well, now I'm ready to go tidy up, but we do thank you so much for listening to the show today. Until next time,
here's to your big success.
Find big success at biggsuccess.com.